Yes, this is the one, as the song schedule determined.
I can't wait to see how this goes.
We are Vector Hyllis, Dawn Herald of the Ouroboros Nest. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Agent.
Cypher 9. I'm with Imperial Intelligence.
Of course. We trust our appearance doesn't disturb you. Our superiors in the diplomatic service find our joining disconcerting, but it was necessary. The joining allowed us to share thoughts and senses with the Nest, forge a bond between Empire and Kilix. The change is a small price.
Changed or not, you clean up well.
You're very kind. We'd rub forearms, but it might not translate. Yes, as to your target, Imperial Intelligence provided us with a list of names, dates, and locations connected to your terrorist financier.
Do you have an ID on the target?
We can't identify the financier himself, but your information shows he's visited House Organa, House Ceres, House Pantier, and House Cortes. Cortes is a vassal of the Empire's proxy, House Thul. If you show the Cortes Baron a copy of our findings, he might close in on your foe.
I appreciate the advice.
We must proceed to the Dance of Unlighting, but we'll remain here for the duration of your mission. We suggest you present yourself to Cortes as an ally of the Empire, show strength, and don't mention your intelligence connections. Agent, we're finalizing our exit report for the diplomatic service. 34 pages of seating charts, ambassador profiles, and appendices. We'll transmit it to our superiors, and then we're yours full-time.
Any second thoughts about leaving diplomacy for intelligence?
We'll miss it, and we're sorry to hand over the unfinished work, but they'll do fine without me. You know, we used to advise first contact missions to new star systems. We met some unusual people, but we haven't had many new experiences since joining the Kilix. Time to broaden our horizons.
After what happened, are you still part of the Killik hive mind?
The Nest has no concept of betrayal, and no concept of forgiveness. If they considered us a threat, they'd have eaten us. So we remain the Dawn Herald, and one day, we will make amends.
What can I do for you, Vector?
Agent, excuse us a moment. We hear the song. The Nest awakens. Light fills the hive, and we are one. Apologies. It's the hour of revitalization, and as Dawn Herald, we still participate, in spirit, if not in person.
You talk about being Dawn Herald, but I don't know what that is.
Traditionally, the Dawn Herald is a warrior and emissary for the Nest, one who confronts the unknown. As Herald, we are more than a typical joiner, and we retain a sense of individuality. It's also why we're useful to you.
You aren't entirely part of the hive mind, but you don't want to leave it, do you?
The joining changed us, and we are content. In any case, we still honor the Killik's gift. But surely everyone carries over rituals and habits from their lives before intelligence.
Who I was then made me who I am today. For the most part.
You should tell us about your past. When we have time, we'd like to hear it. Last night, we ate our first ration bar since leaving the Nest. We savored the flavor for 2 hours. We could taste every nutrient, every chemical compound and trace of foil. Do you know what joining the Kilix does to a person's senses?
You get excited over a ration bar? That's cute, Vector.
We'll let you know when we try the chaka noodles. But we did have something more serious to discuss. How do you see our role as an operative on your team?
You're a capable partner, and I value your input.
And our skill set? Keeper described us as a covert assault agent. Our role as Dawn Herald gives us that capacity. We just don't know if that's the only reason we're here, or if it should be.
You have abilities I don't, as does your Nest. We should use them.
We see. We'll give that due consideration. Thank you for your help, Agent. Agent, we hope you don't mind, but we were wondering something. Do you have a family? Siblings, a husband? People to go home to after a mission?
A husband? Are you asking if I'm single?
That was part of the question. We'd like to hear the answer.
I recall some man waiting for me at home, but I don't let him get in my way.
Get in the way of what, exactly?
I wouldn't be a very good operative if I didn't use all my skills, and I can't worry about jealousy.
You have a utilitarian view of the world, Agent. We'd like to hear more sometime.
You wanted to talk?
Yes. The suns are warmer here. Nothing that smells so green when the gamma bursts come.
Vector, are you all right?
We must go. Auras mingle. Apologies, Agent. Emissaries from our nest. They stowed away aboard the ship and have accompanied us since we left Alderaan. They're becoming quite sociable.
I don't see a swarm around you. Can they turn invisible?
No, but they can grow very large or very small. These live within our flesh. The Killiks of Alderaan know little of the galaxy, only what they absorb through joiners. Our journey teaches them a great deal, but there is something that intrigues us, intrigues the nest. The fate of our lost kin.
What lost kin?
Alderaan has only a handful of nests, sleeping beneath the castle lands and awakening every few centuries. The other Killiks migrated off-world millennia ago. No one knows what became of them, or whether they survived. But the migration is a primal memory. We miss them.
If the Citadel has any record of Killik encounters, we can find out.
We appreciate that, Agent. It may help. We don't know if it's truly important to find them, but as Dawn Herald, we'll be watching. We've been dreaming lately. Great spitcrete vessels weep dew above the castle lands. Their engines scorch the air. Dartship swarms shade the sky, humming a song of farewell. We remember the Great Migration, when the lost nests departed Alderaan.
You said no one knew what happened after the other Killiks left.
We still don't. But our travels have caused a buried memory to surface. In our dream, there is a mosaic that mirrors the stars and shows us the lost one's destination. We request leave for a pilgrimage, Agent, to follow the first steps of the migrant Killiks.
Vector, if you want a favor, you'll have to do better than that.
We'd ask you to come with us, but all we expect to find is dust and petrified shells. Still, the journey honors our kin. We're already packed.
We've spent a lot of time and money on you. You'll need a bodyguard to keep you out of trouble.
We are Dawn Herald. We have some ability to defend ourselves.
So, you made it back from your pilgrimage.
Our journey is over. We saw strange worlds and markers set in stone and frozen lakes of steaming colors, but no Killiks. The colony found planets that suited them, but none that could support them. They divided into 1,000 nests, each going its own way, to 100 different stars.
I know this isn't the end you were hoping for.
We forged a connection to the lost colony. Even if we didn't find it, this means a great deal. In any event, we're sorry. What? There is a scent here.
You're not giving up already. We apologize for surprising you, but it took time for us to become aware of your presence. More to find you. But we welcome you nonetheless. We are Daizana, of the Lesai Nest.
Maybe you should handle this.
Daizana of Lese. We are Vector Hyllis. Dawn Herald of Oroboro.
Oroboro? We barely recognize the scent. We thought we'd lost the nests of Alderaan until you followed. Our fleet ship pursued you here. The colony still exists, spun across the stars. Our nests still kin. 1 trillion and more Killiks will dance and sing tonight.
Your ship followed Vector on the way back from his pilgrimage.
Even after he was gone, he left an impression we could follow. Our emissaries are not far from your own. Let them touch and bring knowledge.
Yes, the Lacey shall rejoice. She offers dancing and Membrosia the chance to walk the tunnels of the Synapse Comb.
The Dawn Herald must come with us. As his partner, you may accompany and share in our joy.
I'd love to see a Killik celebration. Lead the way.
Don't worry. We'll be out before the pheromones bond to your system.
The Membrosia runs in golden rivers.
You're doing well. Accompany the joiners, if you wish. Morning comes soon. We're impressed. You held up well. More to the point, you brought together the fragments of an ancient people. We can't fully express our gratitude. We hear the singing of 1,000 nests, and are at peace.
I'm glad you're in high spirits. Call it a day then?
Agreed, Agent. Agent, we've had time to think since reuniting the Killik colony. Not that our work hasn't kept us busy, but we didn't actually thank you for allowing our pilgrimage. You should come with us next time.
Take a blanket and some rations, go sightseeing under the stars? You just want me alone.
We could use a change from Killik Company. You're a novelty. There's something else. In the old days, as a diplomat, we used to be able to read people. Since our joining, that's gotten harder, so we have to be direct. Is our relationship becoming unprofessional?
I get to decide what's professional. One advantage to being friendly with your superior officer.
Clearly. So tell us, Agent. Just how friendly are we?
Come by my quarters some night and you can find out.
That does make things clear. We'd like to continue this, but we've kept you from your duty long enough. The song of the universe will not pause.
How are things, Vector?
Agent, when we communed with the other nests, we saw a force for change in the galaxy. There are Killiks as large as starships and as small as mites, joiners from 100 species on 1,000 worlds. We mean to report on the Killik colony to the diplomatic service.
The colony's been in hiding for a long time, and the Killiks may not appreciate it.
We've shared thoughts with Daizana of the Lacey nest, and we've assessed the limits of their cooperation. If the service can make entreaties to the colony, if we make them an ally, we'll have a foothold in the unknown regions. We'd have access to Killik craftsmanship, joiner information. Even without their military support, they would be invaluable.
What would an Imperial Killik alliance take?
We've outlined a proposal. The Killiks want peace and resources, and the Empire can offer both. And if the Empire doesn't make allies of the Killiks, someone else may get to them first.
However I can assist, say the word.
We'd ask you to sign off on the report. Other than that, we'll keep your offer in mind. Thank you. Agent, we heard back from the diplomatic service about our proposed alliance with the Killik colony. Our report was soundly ignored. It seems we have less credibility than we thought.
You worked for them for years, and this is what you get.
We are twice compromised, no longer human, and no longer a diplomat. A colleague named Fulner Eth sent the update on our report along with a message. He wants us to call him, accompanied by our handler. We believe he means you.
Put him through. We'll see what he wants.
Master Hyllis, I'm so glad you got my message. How are you? How's Anya?
Anora. We haven't seen her in some time, but we hear she's well. And your son?
I'm stationed on Balmora, still hoping to join the Shadow Fist. And you must be Cypher 9. It's my privilege to meet you. Rest assured, I went through channels to arrange this. Imperial Intelligence has agreed to loan me Vector so long as you're amenable.
Tell me your proposal, and I'll see what we can do.
My superiors don't see the wisdom in Vector's advice. I do. Yet I lack the authority to force the issue.
Someone is blocking you?
Tarab, Sabini, the usual crew. If I'm to win them over, I need influence. Vector, with your ties from the service and the colony's knowledge, I could amass a string of victories. And the more I succeed through your consultations, the better chance your Killik Imperial Alliance comes to pass.
What's your take on all this?
He wants us to play politics, but that is how things are accomplished.
Perceptive man. I'll be in touch with specifics.
We appreciate your aid, and your patience, Agent. We're doing this to serve our people. We don't mean to neglect your company.
Tell you what, next chance we have to slip away, we'll find a planet all to ourselves.
We'll hold you to that. Agent, you recall we spoke to the diplomatic service about building an alliance between Empire and Killiks? Falner Eth, the man who offered his backing in return for our assistance, has asked us for his first favor.
What's our diplomat friend after?
Falner wants our notes on various families and unaligned worlds in the Questal sector. He means to bring that sector into the Empire. We worked in Questal a long while, and we knew its people well. It's odd to see someone else take the reins.
You don't talk about your old life.
We don't often have a reason to think about it. We do miss negotiating, reaching out to understand people, synthesizing their needs. Dizana of the Lesai Nest says that desire makes us a better joiner. It's only small comfort.
You haven't forgotten your training. Even as Dawn Herald, you're an ambassador.
Perhaps. But seeing men like Fulner again, we think it's best if he handles negotiations. Apologies, Agent. This is something we need to think on more deeply. But we are glad you stand by us.
You wanted something, Vector?
We do not neglect our duties. We are Dawn Herald. We do this for the Nest. Agent, we've had another request from Falner Eth, our ally inside the diplomatic service. We need to take a short leave.
I heard you talking to the emissaries of the Nest. Is everything all right?
Everything's fine. The distance from our kin is unusual and causes rifts. Fulner's stock is rising, but he needs further acclaim before he can push for a Killik Imperial Alliance. He's asked us to visit a former Republic governor named Yogana Thanoth and win his cooperation by turning him into a joiner.
He joins the Nest, you learn everything he knows and share it with the Empire. You can't blame Fulner for asking.
We'd hoped Fulner wanted us for our diplomatic skills, not for this. The joining should be a gift, but we will find a way.
You know this isn't right. Don't do it, Vector.
We appreciate your concern. We ask that you trust our decision.
You're back. Did you find your man?
We spoke to the Republic governor. If you'll join us, we'll report the details to Fulner Eth.
My friends, it's been too long.
Fulner, we assume you've heard from Thanoth.
He contacted me from an Imperial transport. Apparently we promised to work with him. Not what I requested, but the service can make do.
There was no need to make him a joiner when he was amenable to discussion.
You haven't lost your touch as a diplomat after all.
Not entirely, no.
You kept your promise. The Noth's assistance resulted in my promotion. I will keep my promise to you. Some important people are waiting, Vector. They're very interested in a potential Killik alliance.
You arranged this?
As soon as I knew we could work together. Check the data I'm streaming to your main console.
Thank you, Fulner. Excuse us a moment, Agent.
It's like talking to a bug wearing a man's skin. I don't know how you stand it.
He's a brave man, and a loyal Imperial.
You can't be serious. Those creatures are anathema to everything the Empire stands for. There's no place for great men in a hive mind. Only animal instinct. I'll be relieved when you people finish this scheme and get rid of the colony for good.
Agent, they listened. They don't understand yet, but they listened. The diplomatic service has requested my aid and wants to initiate relations with the colony.
Listen, Falna Eth is keeping his deal, but he's repulsed by Killiks. We can't trust him.
He admits it? We always did get an odd sense from him. It's out of his hands now, though. We should watch him, but we'll be focused on the future. Agent, there's something we want you to know. Our obsession lately has been with the colony and the diplomatic service. We're sure you've noticed that we've been distant.
We were getting close for a while. Then you pulled back.
Yes. It wasn't intended. We're finished repairing ourselves. We found the part of our mind that understood humanity, and we're relearning how to use it. We couldn't have done this without you. And we don't want to be distant anymore.
Maybe you should make sure I'm convinced. I do have other options.
As you like. What will be the next verse of our song?
Have you really forgotten what comes next?
We haven't relearned everything, but we'll work on it.
What do you have for me?
Encouraging news. Watch.
Don Herald, forgive the message, but our emissaries were out of reach and we couldn't wait to link with you. Imperial scout ships entered colony space and made contact yesterday. We traded in Membrosia, Silk, and star maps. We could smell the men's fright, but they left in peace. Perhaps you were right after all.
A long way from a signed treaty, but it's a start.
Is there something going on between you and that joiner?
Dizana is a nestmate, and we value her. But she isn't you.
Glad you have your priorities straight.
We trust you to remind us. In any case, things progress, and even the diplomatic service is listening to us again. Killiks and Imperials may share space in our lifetime.
What's going on?
Agent, in our work with the diplomatic service, we find ourselves talking to people we once knew. We've been contemplating this.
Hello, Vector. It's Honora. I don't know if you remember me, but Bryson said he thought you would, and I wanted to talk to you. I know things didn't end well, but I never forgot. You need to get out of there. Come back to Drummond Cast and we'll get you help. We can undo what the Killiks did. There are still people who care about you.
We've watched it 17 times and meditated to the static.
It can be difficult to be reminded of your past.
Can it? We were nearly engaged to Honora very long ago. We never considered that there are people who want us restored to what we were. But watching this, feeling nothing, we know we're no longer who we were when we loved her.
If you could be restored, would you want it?
No. We had to know if our reaction was unnatural, but we don't think it is. We are content. It is done, Agent. We can scent the pulse of your heart. We can taste particles of solar radiation bead like dew on our lips. We have undergone the chrysalis of tranquility, and we are reborn.
I don't know what that means, but I'm glad you're excited.
The chrysalis is a ritual of the Dawn Herald. It makes us stronger, better able to face the enemies of the nest, and enhances our link to the universe. It requires the stillness of spirit we now have. We'll fight alongside you.
My brave, strange protector. You know I'm glad I have you.
We do. We have news, Agent. We've been conferring lately with the ambassadors, moffs, speakers for the Sith, all with their own agendas and concerns, none with any love for the Killiks. But we swayed a few, and found ways around others. Now the diplomatic service has agreed to seek a treaty.
An alliance with the Killik colony. It's what you've been wanting.
What we've been working toward together. Some of the nests are still reluctant, Horro and Manam in particular, but all parties involved have agreed to a summit. We'll preside over the negotiations ourselves.
I'm at your disposal. I want this to work.
So do we. Thank you, Agent. Imagine. Colony and Imperial representatives in one room. It shall be interesting.
You said you wanted to talk?
Yes, but we'd like some privacy. No crew members, no Killiks, no emergencies. If you could arrange it.
I can arrange it. Should I dim the lights? Pour a drink?
If you like. We'll meet back shortly.
Vector?
I'm here, Agent. Surprise.
How can you be normal?
The Abia nest taught me to repress the pheromonic bond. I can hold it for a little while. This is a time for us to be together. One you needn't share with the Ouroboros or the colony.
You're sweet, but the man I care for isn't human.
We didn't know, but we expected to learn one day. We're glad it happened like this. And we are glad to be with you.
Why don't we take advantage of our privacy? You are still mostly human.
In all the relevant ways. The joining doesn't change us. The others will return soon, and another crisis will demand our attention.
I'm not done with you. I'll make sure we get another private moment, and soon.
We'll count on you for that. We are set, Agent. Preparations for the Killik Imperial Summit are underway, and the first ambassadors are arriving on site. We're meeting on Alderaan, in the House of Thule. We couldn't think of a more appropriate place.
You could have picked somewhere not in the middle of a war.
Sadly, we're not sure that's true anymore. Though it does relate to a favor we'd like to ask. More than any other Imperial, you've seen the nests and how they function. Your word could carry weight. Before we leave, we'd appreciate your honest assessment. One final report that we can present to the Imperial Summit attendees.
An alliance with the Killiks would benefit the Empire immensely, and I'm not afraid to say so. I'll have a report to you by the time you reach Alderaan.
We look forward to it. Agent, the summit is over. It was not without incident. Daizana of the Lesai Nest is dead.
I'm sorry to hear it. I know you felt a connection to Daizana.
Yes, we did. Fulna Eth, our contact in the diplomatic service, attempted to sabotage the proceedings. Daizana was caught in an explosion, saving an ambassador. And when we traced it to Fulner, he had a speech prepared.
Damn you! Listen to them. Do you want to ally the Empire with these creatures? Everything they do defies what we stand for. The Killiks are an abomination. Our Empire is based on the notion that a great individual rises to the top, and the lesser masses follow. The Killik hive mind devours greatness, absorbs every possibility into a mire of primal instinct.
We found his words troubling, and his actions more so.
I expect that didn't help the talks.
No, but we reconvened after Fulner was gone. The colony allows billions of Killiks and joiners to serve something greater, the Nest consciousness. Just as Imperials serve the Sith and the Emperor. That is what we told the others. That is how we signed a treaty between the Empire and the Killiks.
You did wonderful, Vector. You should be proud.
We are, and we're proud of you. Both sides will open their borders to trade. Protocols will be set for military and diplomatic contact. You and Izana, even Fulner, you all brought us to this point. Our future is hopeful.
You've got time on your hands. Why don't you work me into that future somehow?
We'll see what we can do. We end a verse in the Song of the Universe. Soon, we will hear another.
What can I do for you, Vector?
We've been speaking to friends in the diplomatic service, putting Dr. Lokin's lessons in persuasion to good use. It took some brokering to find a gift for you. An Ulikuo gemstone once owned by the Tapani noble houses.
Ah, you finally figured out how to win me over.
And just in time, apparently. Traditionally, the Tapani nobles present the stone as part of a marriage proposal. Which is what this is. We know you can never join us. You can never share our thoughts. But if you can't live in our world, we can live in yours. Forever.
What if I could come to your world? I could become a joiner too.
It would mean giving up everything you are, everything you wish to become. We have no desire to see you do that. We love you. Will you marry us?
I will marry you, Vector. I love you too.
Then we have an agreement. We don't have a ceremony planned, and for the sake of your cover, perhaps it can't be officially sanctioned. But it is real. We are one.
It's a long time since the cave. It hasn't always been good, but you've always been worth it.
As have you, Agent. You always will be.
Yes, Vector?
Agent, we'll never be a great spy or covert assault operative. But you've helped us to be a diplomat and a Dawn Herald. We are grateful for your patience and your guidance.
You don't have to be grateful. We're here to support each other.
Nonetheless, we received a message from the Killiks. The colony embraces the Imperial Alliance, and offered us the chance to become Dawn Herald to all nests. We refused, as our priorities are clear. We'll work with you and defend your legacy until the end.
Prepare the ship to launch. We're leaving.
Analyzing jump trajectories.
Yeah, 'cause us Hicks can't use a navicomputer.
How was your meeting? Is everything all right?
Imperial intelligence is gone, and Cypher 9 is dead. From now on, we choose our own fate.
Oh, you're making me very happy.
You don't cease to surprise me. Patching through a message, if you don't mind.
This is Command Ship Tenebris. I thought I'd see you off properly. It might be a while before we do this again.
Somehow I doubt it'll be that long. But I appreciate the thought.
We're getting questions from Drummond Cass, and I was hoping to set the record straight. What's your plan while we sort things out here?
I'm going to find threats to the Empire, and I'm going to stop them. Isn't that what we do?
Perhaps it is. Tenebris out.
The song ends, the song begins.